So you want to start your own e-commerce business, but you're not sure if you want to buy products in bulk from China or if you want to drop ship them from China. And I want to tell you my takes on that, and we're going to go through all of the pros and cons for both of these modules really that you have here. And the reason why I can actually talk a little bit more about that is because I've been living in China now for 7 years. I actually own a sourcing company here where we have a fixed team, fixed staff that every day does nothing else but help people source their products. So we specifically help Amazon FBA sellers and we help drop shippers to source products in China and take all of that, basically take all of the workload off your shoulders. You can obviously do that all yourself, and today I just want to run you through the pros and the cons of both drop shipping your products from China and buying in bulk. Now, if you're new to all of this and if you don't know what is drop shipping, what is buying in bulk, what's the difference, what does that mean? Now, if you drop ship products from China, that means that you have a product, you sell the product, and every time you sell the product, you take part of that money from the sale, then you give it to a Chinese supplier, let's say on AliExpress, for example. You buy that one unit that your customer ordered, and then the supplier sends out that one unit directly to your customer. If you ordered in bulk, then basically you go to a supplier and you buy 100 units, 500 units, 2,000 units, however many units you want, and then you ship all of those out to a fulfillment center that then fulfills it for you. You ship it directly into Amazon, or you just ship it into your garage and you self-fulfill it, right? So there are all these different options here, and we divide all of that up in different categories, okay? The very first category is ease of getting started. Then we have product costs, shipping time, potential to get stuck and frustrated, because that is actually a part that's no one ever talks about. But if you get stuck and frustrated, then you're not ever going to get to success anyway. The next one is profitability, future cooperation, how if you can cooperate with that supplier for the future, if you can grow your business with that supplier. We talk about supply chain control. I give you a few other things. We talk about capital require and if international shipping is possible with both of those. So let's get started with ease of getting started. We have the drop shipping part, which is easy to get started with. If you want to find a supplier on AliExpress, it's very easy. It can take you a couple of minutes actually to go on there, find the right supplier, choose the product, buy from them, and done. It is such a nice and easy and quick process. I actually do see this as a problem. I think that is a negative because it attracts too many people. All your competition does have an easy job with that as well. So you are actually just playing in the same field where everyone else is playing. And I personally don't like that. But however, just ease of getting started for validating your product, validating your idea, and making sure that you can sell it. Easy peasy, just go with that. Now, if you buy it in bulk, it's not actually that easy. It takes longer time. AliExpress is simple. But if you're sourcing it on Alibaba, you need to go back and forth with suppliers. You have a bigger risk. You want to make sure that when you buy the product, it actually looks good. You want to make sure your supplier is reliable. You want to see samples. You want to do all of these things because if you invest hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars with the supplier, well, you better make sure they're reliable. So it definitely does take a longer time. Let's speak about product costs because product costs, it's definitely cheaper buying them on AliExpress than buying them, let's say, from like a local wholesaler or something like that, because after all, in China, we still get to buy the cheapest products. However, it is more expensive than buying bulk orders because if you buy in bulk, your prices can be a quarter of what you're actually paying for on one by one. Because if you buy them in bulk, you get a mass discount. You could buy from the manufacturer of the product. There's no middleman in between. There's no trading company. On AliExpress, you have all trading companies. On Alibaba, most of the companies are trading companies too. But if you know how, then you can actually find the right factory. So make sure to subscribe to this channel because we have a lot of videos like that on this channel where I teach you exactly how to identify the right supplier. Let's talk about shipping costs. Now, shipping costs, especially during these crazy times that the world is in 2020, we have a little bit of an issue with shipping costs, especially when you buy them when you buy one by one, because the US actually is about to get a law out that bans all flights from China to the US. So with that, the problem is that how all of these products are shipped is in those airplanes. So we'll see how that works out. But shipping is definitely something that is more expensive because you're shipping it across the world one by one. But if you buy them in bulk, then the shipping costs, you just pay for that one container. You pay for the one big box of things. So it's actually a lot cheaper because you just combine so many products into one thing, and then your shipping costs can be compressed down to 50 cents a kilo or something like that. So, but if you ship them one by one, it's definitely going to cost you a few more dollars per product. That also ties into shipping time. Now, if you're using one by one orders and you drop shipping products from China, your shipping time obviously is crazy, right? Your shipping time can be it can be 30, 40 days. Now, your customer doesn't necessarily want to wait that long. I believe that customers somehow they do not like to wait. And Amazon has proven that with overnight shipping and with 3-day shipping and all of that. Amazon tells the world, Amazon spoils the world with these quick shipping times. So your customers don't really want to wait 30 days. Now, I love dropshipping still as a validation process, just validating your product idea, make sure it works, make sure you can sell it, make sure your numbers work out. Great. Just for that, if you can sell it with those shipping times, I'm sure you can sell it later once you import it in bulk. So these methods might even work together. Now, let's look at the shipping times for bulk orders, because you have a big pro and you have a big con here as well, just for that. The big pro for that is that once your product are landed, once your product are in the country where they're supposed to go, when you sell in the US and you have them in a US warehouse, it's extremely quick to get your products out. It just takes a couple of days for the fulfillment center to get your order out. Easy. However, it takes 30 to 40 days to ship your whole order into the US, right? And that is a time where you can ship them by air as well, but this is becoming a problem right now. But if you ship them by sea, or if you're in Europe, you ship them by train or by truck, it still takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, sometimes 5 weeks until you have your products in the country. That is a problem because that means you need to hold enough inventory to not go out of stock, which means you need more capital to put in to buy all of those products up front. Because if you're selling 10 products a day for 30 days that it needs to replenish the inventory, then you always need to hold at least 300 products in stock at the moment when you place a new order. So if you look at your inventory, you know, okay, I'm selling 10 a day. Now in 30 days I will run out. I still have 300 products, but now you already need to place a new order. So it really ties into cash flow here. But I prefer this method because as soon as it's proven, then I send the products into a warehouse and I order them in bulk, and then it's really quick and I can advertise ships from the US, right? So that's something I really like. So let's speak about the potential of getting stuck and getting frustrated. Because I can tell you from experience, the reason why I own a sourcing company is because it sucks to source your products in China. Because if you've never done it before, if you don't really know what you're doing, you can get easily screwed. You can get taken advantage of. You can get, people charge more of a price. Sometimes your money doesn't, your money doesn't buy your product. It just arrives in China, but you're never gonna get anything for that. So it can be a pain in the ass if you don't do it right. If you do it the right way, though, I love it. Okay, but that's the reason why we have this sourcing company. And if you want to work with us for that, just schedule a call with me below here in the description, and then we'll speak about that. I explain you all of the things that we could do for you. All right. So, but the potential to get stuck with dropshipping is small. It's tiny. It's so easy. You go on Alibaba or AliExpress. You're like, okay, this is the product I want, and you buy it and you ship it out, and that's it. Very simple, very easy. Bulk orders take longer time, and I touched on that in the very beginning of this video already. When you have the bulk order, you need to have so many more safety steps in between, and like I say, make sure to subscribe to this channel because we have so many more videos just about that. Let's speak about profitability, because profitability, obviously, this is something we all want. We don't only just want to sell products, we actually want to take home some of that money and actually use it and buy stuff with it, right? That's the whole point of doing business. We want to have the profits. Now, most dropshipping stores are not profitable. Most Shopify stores do not turn over a profit. Most e-commerce sellers give up after 30 days because they run out of money, because they're not profitable. And with dropshipping, because the refund rate is high, because the prices are higher, because shipping is more expensive, your profit margin is just much smaller. And that is the biggest downside here for me. Now, if you have profitability, you definitely have more of a profitability when you order in bulk, because you get that mass discount, you get the discount on shipping, you get the discount on the product, and it's just, you don't have as many refunds if people get their product in 3 days. Future cooperation, that is something that you need to consider. That is something no one ever considers. But this is the actual importance of supply chain, because look, you need to have a supplier that you can count on. You need to have a supplier that doesn't run out of stock. You need to have a supplier that doesn't screw you over. You need to have a supplier when they say the product arrives in 30 days, that it arrives in 30 days. You want to have a supplier that says, if you place an order now, we will ship your products in a week or in 2 weeks or whatever. You need suppliers that stick to their word. Now, if it's an AliExpress supplier, if it's a supplier that is drop shipping it, they might switch out their products anytime. They might run out of stock, they might discontinue products, you need to find someone else, they don't have inventory to deal with. If you're working with a manufacturer, if you actually have a long-term relationship with that guy, with that company, it is so much more likely to have a better relationship in the future. It's becoming easier to order more products from that guy in smaller quantities. You have all the opportunities in the world once you have a real relationship with your supplier, okay? The same goes for supply chain control. You have no control about your supply chain, meaning the inventory, is the product going to be sent out, what's the condition of the product, what's the quality. You don't have any control over that when you have a dropshipping supplier. If you buy them in bulk, however, you do have control over it. You need to get the sourcing process right. But once it's right and once you have inventory in your country, well, you are in control. You see how many units you have in stock. You know the quality is good. You know that shipping is going to be quickly. You know all of these things, so you can be certain. You don't have to deal with any headaches in your supply chain once you have your products in the country where you want to sell it. This is my preferred method to start with, the dropshipping thing. I like to start with that, validate the idea, but then you need to have multiple suppliers for multiple products, and you need to have, it definitely is something that is not very profitable, but it's really good for validating it and to make sure that the product actually works. And then I like to move over to buying in bulk. The con on that is that you need to find a fulfillment center, you need to go through all the hassle of sourcing your products, and we actually have a deal where we can help you source your products for free. And if you call me, I'll tell you exactly how you get that. Let's speak about capital required. That is capital required. Obviously, for dropshipping, you don't need any capital because you only pay the supplier once you got paid. If no one pays you, you don't have to pay the supplier. That doesn't account for ad costs. Okay, so advertisement costs, they usually kill all these businesses because advertisement costs are too expensive. People don't know how to run the ads. People run the ads to stores that aren't built well, and then people lose money. And most of the money is lost in ads, okay? So when I say no capital, I don't mean you shouldn't have any money. I just mean it doesn't require capital to buy your products. Capital required for the bulk orders, however, that is high. You need to have a lot of capital, you need to have enough inventory so that you can make sure you're not running out of stock, and you need to account for growth. Growth is the one thing that actually everyone wants to grow and everyone wants to sell a lot of products. Look, I can tell you, we have a product on Amazon right now that sells 600 units, and we are in big trouble with it because we need to pre-finance that inventory. And this is a growing market, so this month it's 600, next month it may be 800. We're actually forecasting that in 3 months we're going to be at around 1,000 units a day for that product. That is incredibly expensive. That is an incredible amount of money that we have to put in orders to just make sure we're not running out of stock. It takes a lot more time to become profitable, so that's something that you definitely need to consider. Now, one more thing that I want to give you here is international fulfillment, and if international fulfillment is possible or not. Now, if you dropship it from China, international fulfillment is possible. You can sell anywhere you want, they ship to anywhere you want. That's it. That's easy as that. If you have the bulk order from China and you have your products in a domestic fulfillment center locally in your country, well, it's not possible to fulfill it domestic or to fulfill it internationally. Or if it is really, really, really expensive because from your country, they just don't have the volume to make the numbers work that well as they do from China. Now, if you have a fulfillment center where you buy in bulk and you have a fulfillment center in China, that is also an option, then obviously you can do the international fulfillment. So I hope you liked the breakdown today. Let me know in the comments, which of these two ways do you prefer? Do you prefer the dropshipping way or do you prefer the bulk order way, and why? Let me know. My preferred way is always the bulk orders. Let me know what's yours. And also, if you want to learn how we set up profitable stores, if you want to learn how we actually make to sell that many units, well, there's a free web class here for you where you can learn all of the things that I learned over the last 4 years that I am in e-commerce, where we did multiple 7 figures. And I share all the things that I learned, all the most important lessons that you can take away from me in a free web class. So make sure to check that out below.